Okay, so yeah, I'm going to do an actual honest-to-God review on Archie meets the Punisher, or the Punisher meets Archie, whatever. Yeah, this happened. This is real. Now, this is a comic I've always wanted to read because of how goddamn absurd it is. I've always wanted to read this comic for, like, ever. Because of how absurd it is. This is kind of what kind of kickstarted me to liking a little more, along with King Kong vs. Godzilla, that kind of got me kickstarted into wanting to watch more crossover, see more crossover stuff, because this is so absurd. One of the most violent anti-heroes in comic books, period, meeting one of the best-known comic book characters and most fun-loving and family-oriented comic book characters ever. Now, it's across the board, and they tell you right off the bat that this was meant to be a joke. This comic was meant to be nothing more than a fun, hilarious thing that it was actually just meant to be. It was just something that some of the guys at Marvel and Archie were talking. Some of the guys they were having lunch together, and they're like, "Hey, wouldn't it be funny if Punisher met Archie?" And they were like, "Holy shit, let's do that!" And that's where this comic comes to. Now, the story is that a guy who calls himself Red is a drug dealer, and he's snuck into Riverdale, and Punisher and Microchip are after him. And the reason being is because the Punisher can't kill him because the federal government has, Red has information on several mob families, and the federal government cuts a deal with Frank because they can't get him, so they ask the Punisher to capture him alive and bring them to him. So the guy hangs out at Red. Also is a dead ringer. He looks exactly like Archie. While this is going on, Archie is trying to get Veronica to go on a date with him to this 50s sock hop, and they acknowledge that it's like a 50s throwback thing, which is hilarious because because Punisher came out. I mean, not Punisher. Archie came out in the 50s, and they also make fun of it a little bit. The funny thing is that everyone's in character. That's right, people. Everyone is in character for this comic book. And it's funny, too, because they draw the Archie characters exactly like Archie characters, and they draw the Punisher like the Punisher. Like, the Punisher isn't Archie-fied. That's a word I never thought I'd use, or make up. Archie-fied. Yeah, the Punisher is just drawn like the Punisher from the 90s era of comics. And, yeah. It's hilarious because the whole thing revolves around Archie being chased by these hitmen and being rescued by the Punisher and at the meantime trying to stop this Red guy from hurting Veronica. Now, I don't really read a lot of Archie, but this kind of kick-started the whole Archie can do whatever the fuck it wants. Because it's kind of funny now, because now we have Afterlife with Archie, which I actually got to read the first issue. It's weird. And what it is Afterlife with Archie is it's a zombie apocalypse, alternate reality of Archie where a zombie apocalypse happens. And, yeah, it's an ongoing. They've also done crossovers where they met Kiss. They did one where they met the Glee cast, which I did not read because I'm not the biggest Glee fan or Archie fan, so I was just like, no. I might read Archie meets Kiss. That might be interesting. They've also done one with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the 80s cartoon. Not the IDW or anything else. They did a crossover when the 80s cartoon had its comic book and it was under Archie. So they did it called The Ninja Turtles Meet Archie and Friends. That's an actual comic too. They've also done, Archie's also done crossovers with, who else have they've met? I believe Archie can do whatever the fuck it wants. That's pretty much what this comic book was the Kickstarter of. And it's hilarious. I can't really properly review this comic because it was meant to be a joke. And yes, does the Punisher kill people? Yes, he does, but you don't see it. Like, they take it off panel. But Archie you just hear a guy's neck, you just see the sound effect of someone's neck being broken, and Archie looking in horror because Punisher broke a guy's neck. But it's fun. Also, another little thing I'll say right now is that when the Punisher... It's also hilarious because Archie gets in a war journal, and it's written like something you'd see from Garth Ennis or Frank Miller, and until Betty snaps him out of it. And there's also fun little references to other Marvel and several other comics. We get a reference to Sonic. We get a reference to Gotham City. It's actually funny because at the end of this comic, Micro and Punisher actually drive off to Gotham City. Here's the reason why I bring that up. Because a few months later, the second Batman Punisher crossover comes out, written by Chuck Dixon and John Romita Jr. So technically, if you want to go technical on all this, Archie Meets the Punisher was a prelude to Batman and to Punisher and Batman Deadly Nights. I just blew your mind, didn't I? Yeah, it's kind of weird. Oh man. But yeah, this is, I'm not gonna lie, this is pretty dumb, but it's fun dumb. If you're a fan of Punisher or Archie, or just want to see something ridiculous happen, go check this out, if you can find it, that is. It's pretty cheap, actually. I've seen it on eBay for pretty cheap prices a few times. I actually got this for about $6 at a comic book shop. I found this, the moment I saw this comic, I was like, I'm taking you home! So, yeah. Anyway, guys, not much else I can say about this comic book other than it's fun. It's pretty much dumb fun. And like I said, the creators from Archie Comics and Marvel Comics were pretty much at the mindset of, oh, it's just meant to be fun. That's all it is. Anyway, guys, once again, hope you guys enjoyed this, and I'm out.